On today's video, we're going to be discussing speed controller issues on the Premium and E-Series Poultry Hawks. If you're experiencing problems like when you push the direction button on your remote and the Poultry Hawk doesn't move, that could potentially be a speed controller issue, along with not stopping once you get it moving, or erratic movement or reversing directions without you indicating that. In today's video, we're going to talk about the E-Series and Premium Series speed controllers, how to diagnose it and replace it.
All right, in this segment, we're going to be showing you how to diagnose the speed controller. One of the first things you want to look at on the Premium Series would be the power light, be the top left-hand corner. Just locate where the light says PWR. That would be an indication of it in operation. E-Series would be normally the bottom right-hand corner, and that's also located where the PWR light is. If you have no power light on, the next thing to check would be the breaker. On the Premium Series, you've got a 20 amp breaker located just above the power switch, and it's a rubber covered button. If it's tripped, it will be popped out, and you just need to push in on that to activate it. On the E-Series, it's the 10 amp on the left-hand side of the control box. So if your power light is on and the unit still does not run, take your remote and press a direction. When you press a direction, you're going to see the remote light come on, also the direction light, but also the first relay is a R115 relay. There's a little LED light on that relay. You're going to hear it click and that light should come on. Also, the light underneath the control box should light up. Part of the troubleshooting would be to see if the motor will actually work forward and reverse without the remote. So you have the A and the B button. It's going to start out full speed. Just momentarily push the A. You'll see the LED over here by the power light light up. And then momentarily push the B and you'll see the same. All right, so after you troubleshoot those items and you have the power light on, speed control board, and you have the relay light on the green control board, if it still doesn't go, the next item to check would be your 3-wire speed controller cable. If you want to just diagnose it, go to another house if you have another unit, pull that one out. Take a picture before you unplug it so you know exactly where it goes, and then replace it, and just for a test, see if the 3-wire cable takes care of it. One more item to think about. If you open your control box and you're not pushing any buttons on any remote at the moment, and you see the remote light is on the green control board, the first thing you do is go to the remote that you normally operate the Poultry Hawk with, take the battery out of the remote. If that takes care of the light, you'll need to replace your remote. First thing you do, turn your power unit off, and then you remove your power wires that are incoming and the outgoing power wires, and the 4 screws on the corners, and your speed control cable. The speed controller for the Premium Series is the 100-258, and it would be good to take a photo. You want to be sure that the wires are at the same place or you'll get a different direction. Black on the right, red on the left, that's your incoming power, and your outgoing would be black on the right and white on the left. One of the first things to check when you have erratic operation is the voltage coming into your control box. If you've got a 12-volt DC battery, you want 12 volts or more coming in. If you got a 20-volt DeWalt or Makita, Milwaukee, you want 20 volts coming into the control box. If you are an owner of an E-Series and you've gone through the different steps that we have talked about, that's identical. The difference is the size of the speed control board and the installation. So the first thing you want to do is disconnect the power from the control box altogether. So after the power is disconnected, then I would disconnect these wires from your breaker. All right, now that you've got the wires off the main breaker, we're going to take the speed control wire off. Just simply pull on it, put it out of the way. And the next step is to take the 4 screws in the corner and remove them. There's a little tube on the back side of each one of those screws. You don't have to worry about dropping anything in the litter if you're in the chicken house. We're going to remove these little plastic tubes that hold the screws on. Make sure you got plenty of room for the wire to go in. Make sure these screws are out all the way. There's nothing that's a small tight area to try to force the wire into. It is a braided copper wire, and you want to be sure that these wires are, none of the strands are over against the other wire. You can short out this thing in a second. So I would put the 2 power wires in first, tighten them good, and then wires up to your motor in second. You're gonna do the blue, or maybe your case, you might have a red one, red wire on the right, and then your ground wire would be second to it, and then the white wire to the A, and the black wire to the B on your speed control. All right, now that you've got it back together, we'll put the 3-wire cable on and take a close look at the wires going in. Make sure there's none of those braided wires in between the supply line or the output side. I think that's it. Get a hold of your local IPP dealer and they can get you the 100-259 speed controller for the E-Series.